It was great. It's been a long time since I've gotten to, go out there and just play football. I missed a lot of camp. I just hated, not being out there with the guys and, putting in a bunch of preparation for Georgia all through the summer and spring and everything. And then, not getting to play was tough. But, those guys did a great job of being prepared and going out there and playing. And, it was just nice getting to play football again. So, I just had a, ton of joy and, being out there with my teammates, just, playing football again. So that was great.
What was exactly wrong with it?
Had a little hamstring tear in camp, and was trying to get back as quick as possible, and just wasn't at a place where I could, feel like I could play at a high level for the first couple games. They just, want to be safe, and it's a long season, so just making sure to get back healthy and to where I can, play and play well, and so feeling great now, and it's just great getting back out there.
How early in camp was that? How much camp did you actually end up missing?
I think it was I got about 4 or 5 practices in, so I missed the majority of camp, which was tough, but I got to spend a lot of that time working back, getting healthy, which was nice. That was kind of early, so I could, had more time to get healthy. But tough not, getting some of those practice reps and getting some of the live work early. But got a lot of mental reps in. Got to help some guys out and still be there every day. So it was a good opportunity for me.
Dylan, what's it like watching this defense play at such a high level so far early in the season?
Yeah, it's inspiring, man. I mean, I think they said it's been 71 years since there's a Clemson defense hasn't given up a touchdown in the first 3 games, and it's been fun to be a part of, fun to watch. It's just very physical, relentless defense, very detailed too. A lot of guys that have, you've seen a lot of maturity from last year to this year, because there's a lot of the, guys that have got experience last year playing, but now have come back and playing at a higher level. And it's just really cool to see the growth and development in some of the guys, and in this unit just really growing up and maturing, from last year.
You talk about guys playing at a higher level. I mean, Skalski, certainly you've been around Skalski a long time.
Yeah.
What's he doing to achieve this kind of level of intensity and technique out there so far this year?
Just his preparation. He's just such a smart, savvy football player, and his effort's unmatched every play. I mean, you don't see a guy play harder than him. I mean, he's just one of those dudes that just is always around the football. I mean, he's in there. He knows what's coming. He knows what to expect. His eyes are always in the right spot. He has a good level of anticipation before the play, and then he just makes plays. He gets the ball. He's physical when he gets there. He shows up with bad intentions. So, I mean, he plays the game the right way, and he's a lot of fun to watch, and he's good to have out there as a teammate. Because you just know that that he's going to get his job done and cover up for others too. So he's really played incredibly his first 3 games.
When he comes and talks to us, he seems like a bit of a wild man. Is he that way around you guys too?
Yeah, I mean he's got that just got that kind of personality about him. Just a little got a little craziness to him, and that's just kind of how he plays the game.
Well, how fitting was it that he was the guy who made that stop on that last play?
Oh yeah, I mean it's like we've seen that a million times. Our offense runs that play as well, and out of that set kind of, and we've seen it in camp, we see it in the spring, and it's something I've seen him make that play before, in practice, in the same situations in our scrimmages, and I thought that was really fitting, to see him come and make that play with that call. I mean, it's like I've seen it happen before, and for him that's just his preparation, and anticipation, like I was talking about, and to see him just go out there and make that game-winning play right there, and when the game's on the line, it matters most, and who else but him. So
He jumps around so much pre-snap, it's almost crazy to think he's always in the right spot when he
yeah,
needs to be.
yeah, I know he's out there, directing traffic, getting the front called, getting the formation called out, getting guys lined up. Just his level of communication that he gives pre-snap to everybody is so important. Just having guys in the right spot and making sure everybody's on the same page. Just so we get things fitted right. If everybody's wrong, everybody's right. Even if we get the front call the wrong way or whatever, but if everybody's on the same page, then we got gaps covered. We can play the call. So that's just what he brings, just from a communication standpoint, is so important.
And did you see the picture out there yesterday with the blood all over it?
Yeah, with him and KJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yeah, that was pretty cool. I think that just shows I mean, he was just spent, after that game, just all that he put into it, um, I think it was just a great, moment captured right there of just, how he played and everything he put into that game, just spent.
Is that indicative of who he is also again?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what he gives at practice. That's what he gives in the film room. It's just the kind of guy he is, kind of player he is, the kind of guy you want on your team. And so it's just that picture really, like you said, is a prime example of just who he is.
Nolan, did your hamstring bother you at all, either during the game or after the game?
No, I mean, I felt great. I felt great out there. I think, I mean, they have our little catapult stuff, recording speed and everything. I was back at my top speed, so I'm feeling good.
You're talking about mentoring other players. Coach Venables was actually talking about Andrew Mukuba, how he came and saw you out when he got here. Do you remember the moment when he kind of came and found you and said, "I want to watch film" or whatever? Or what actually happened as he was?
Yeah, I mean, he always is. I remember when he first got here as a mid-year, just coming in, not knowing much, being a great athlete, and he's like, "Look, I want to play, but I don't know anything." He's like, "I need to learn this defense." So he would, get me to come. Right, he would get me to come in with him, and we'd go in, and I just kind of just start off breaking down concepts, breaking down scheme, and before we even get to any of the calls, just explaining everything to him. Because I was like, if you can get this big picture stuff down early, all these calls and details and everything else will start to make sense to you. And just trying to get him to think the right way early, and then he kind of progressed throughout the spring with that way, and then we started getting the Georgia game plan down and start getting the calls and letting him get familiar with just how the games flow, and with just getting that game plan details down. It's not as big of a playbook anymore that we put in the spring, because it can be overwhelming with everything. So but yeah, just with him coming in and just seeking out help is just a testament to who he is, and just the maturity from a young player, just trying to grow and develop and get better.
Was it a text message or you walk up to you in the cafeteria, or like where was it? Where you said,
Oh yeah, I mean, we're always together, and with our segment groups and stuff, and so just him, it'd be like, I think it's probably after practice one day, or really before spring ball started, just coming in. He's like, "Look, I need to get in the film room and learn this stuff. Will you help me?" And that's just kind of how we went about things. And ever since then, we were just just trying to help each other out.
how impressed were you by that? I mean, obviously, Coach Venables was saying you have to be very vulnerable.
Yeah.
That, I mean, to have a young guy like be that, I guess, humble, understanding that he needs to learn, taken aback by that.
Yeah, it's just usually when you see young guys like that who will come up to you and be vulnerable, it's really a sign of maturity. It shows someone who cares and who wants to get better, and wants to improve, and make this team better, and make themselves better. And I think that's the biggest thing that stood out to me about that was, okay, this is a guy that wants to be a part of it. He cares, and he's gonna do what it takes to get on the field, and that's the guys ultimately who you can trust. And that's why he's gotten to play so early, is just because we're able to trust him. He's made a lot of plays. He's all over the field. Great athlete, and and it's starting to click with him too. So.
Is it like an hour a day, or like how much time you spend in those film sessions?
Oh, I mean, it varies. Now we're kind of, we got different class schedules and stuff, so we make it work whenever we can. But obviously, we're in there with our segments every day. But back in the spring, whenever we were getting that started, it would be an hour, 30 minutes, 2 hours, however long we had that day or wanted to stay in there for. So it varies.
How's the way to pick it up? Or can you tell he's picking it up?
Yeah, I mean, he's picking it up pretty quick, and you could tell that by the plays he was making in the spring. I think he stood out to the coaches in the spring, like, dang, like this kid's all over the place. He's always getting his hands on the ball, and so he's just a savvy kid. Some kids just get it early, and some it takes a little bit longer, and he's one of those guys that just gets it early. So he's been impressive.
Nolan, you guys have played a lot of games. You played a lot of games against NC State. What have you seen that's different about this team this year than maybe some other years?
Some of the previous years, I guess we've played them. They've always had a pretty good quarterback. this year this kid's good. He can sling it. He can make all the throws. He's confident back there. You can tell his confidence has grown even from last year, and just his recognition of defense. There's a lot of few quarterbacks who will look you off one way and then come back to the field flat, or that's a long progression, a long read, and I've seen him make those throws, and he's comfortable with it, and frankly does it a lot. And I think, other than him, I think their O-line is athletic and fast. A lot of stretch. See them running, big dudes. Backs are big, physical guys. Got some depth. So it's gonna be a good challenge. They got all the athletes they need. They're a good team. I was watching the Mississippi State game, and the score. That just didn't really fit with how the game went. They're driving the first drive all the way down the field, and then kind of run a little trickery play, throw a pick in the end zone. It's kind of a momentum killer to go all the way down the field and throw an interception like that. Next drive, same thing, all the way down the field, fumble. And it's tough when you're putting together drives like that and not coming out with points. And so they're doing a lot of things really well. That was a kind of a tough game with a turnover situation for them.
Anybody have a question on Zoom?